with the right hair. Yeah, that's a popular series. That's a
pretty cute.
Yeah,
It's pretty cute. I've only watched like 2 episodes, but I'll stick with it. It's nice. The girl's cute.
yeah.
It's
I like
pretty.
the art too, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty shoujo. Like the first reveal of the male lead has sparkles and slow motion, and their eyes lock, and it's like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cute. I like
Okay.
it.
All right. What about you, Toast?
What? Oh, anime?
Yep. Anime. Anime.
I watch more Netsuge and whatnot.
Okay, so it's going through. So is it delving more into the relationship between the two, or is it doing more fun adventures between the four, or what's happening there? I forget what happens.
They're still trying to. Yeah, it's all that. Plus, they're still trying to get her to differentiate between the real world and the game world.
What are they more focusing on in the arc that you're currently watching? Like, are they doing the episodic fun times, or are they more focusing on, or maybe they're trying to mix it all together at the same time?
Yeah, let's go with
Yeah,
that. Because they're still they're doing their whole club thing where we're gonna play games after school.
and
this is
at
gonna
the
be...
very end, she learns the lesson or whatever, right?
She'll never know that lesson. No. No. Yeah, they're still trying to get her to do that, but she's too engrossed in the game and whatnot.
Yeah.
Usual stuff.
Okay. So focuses on NTR at the moment.
Yeah, she tried to stab the teacher.
Yeah. Okay.
That's one thing. That was pretty cool.
All right. What about you, Dork?
Well, in the past 2 weeks, I think the real highlight was I watched 12 Psy. Really, really great series.
Yeah.
Past.
Or 12 years old or whatever it's called.
Yeah, no.
Wow, that's
although I
definitely
did
within your
check that
strike
out and it's
zone.
horrible. Yeah, thanks, man.
You're
I
welcome.
did check that out. I mean, it's something. You could watch it. You can see what happens. But no, I think the real highlight was I watched and almost finished all of Heyore. Heyore Naruko-san.
Heyore, yeah.
Yeah, Naruko-san.
Season 1 or 2?
Both.
Both. Better both.
Wow.
I'm almost done
Pinchy.
with season 2. The reason I didn't finish it was because I feel the post-anime depression coming on, and also I had finals at the time, so I just kind of stopped watching it, and now I'm just kind of waiting and watching other stuff. Yeah, but that's pretty much the highlight of what I did. Other than that,
isn't your highlight learning about the Kisniver training camp?
Oh man, I wish I was in a training camp in World War II when I heard about that.
Oh baby, jeez. But yeah, for me, I was mainly going through actually, the usual like reading visual novels, translating some raw stuff, watching some of the new Kohime Muso fan disc translations that was available. Some of you might know me for being a huge fan of the Kohime Muso franchise, but that's just me. So I've been kind of going through that. As for the anime I watched, I kind of did a quick marathon through Kuromukuro like just today. Well,
yeah, how was that?
I'll talk about that just a little bit right after we go. What?
Is that the mech one?
Yeah, the mech one, the PA Works anniversary thing.
That looks bad.
Yeah, I found out that Rina Satao's character is nothing, so I decided that I will never watch it.
Okay, so how do I say this? I don't think it's pretty fucking dumb. Okay, so my opinion is that it's not really it has like the usual PA Works production quality, not as good as maybe Hanasaku Iroha or wait, Hanasaku Iroha is no, it was PA Works definitely.
No, it was PA Works. It was PA.
Excuse me, ever since fucking Ritsu kept confusing me on Kyokai no Kanata, although it's not his fault, it's actually my fault. Ever since he kept confusing me on whether Kyokai no Kanata was from KyoAni or PA Works, I've always started like being confused. So, but yeah, Kuromukuro has the usual standard production value from PA Works. Not the best they've ever done, but pretty decent. Opening is whatever. It's kind of seems like they wanted to do some random like demonstration to lay them over before they do the next season of stuff. which I don't know what their next stuff is, but it just kind of seems like they're just shoving in mecha battles and people going like, "Oh, we have to defend against mechas" and stuff like that. It doesn't really seem to be anything else. Like it's kind of a series where it's like it's not like bad in a sense where it's just like, "Oh, well, you're clearly not even doing what you're doing." They're doing what they're doing. They're just not really like they're just their heart isn't into it. So it's just like a 5 out of 10 maybe.
So it's not bad. It's just
It's not.
nothing.
Yeah, it's literally just like it's like a Tamayura where it's like it's like a slice of life and they have all this like slice of life shit set up, but they're just kind of like going through the motions. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, daddy with the camera, blah blah blah, friends, blah blah blah, hometown, blah blah blah, bloom, like like visual bloom, and it's like, okay, well, I guess you have all the pieces put together. I guess you have all the pieces, but you haven't really put the pieces in together into like an actual like puzzle, like landscape thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Kurumako kind of has like the mechas and stuff like that, and they're kind of like throwing it around in like a little like egg basket, but it's not really like congealed into something that is like bigger. You know what I mean? It's just like mechas here, samurai with the mecha, wow, Nippon Ichi kind of thing going on, like, but it's not really anything else. So I would give it like 5 out of 10. I don't know like why like it just like at the point where I'm consciously aware of the fact that I like have to force myself to watch it. Like it might be that I very agree that anybody coming up to me and saying something like but you have a bias towards slice of life, you don't really understand mecha. Maybe that's sort of the case, but a lot of it kind of seems like it's not really like even like the mecha stuff. It's just kind of like like the usual like mecha people. It's like chicken walk. They're just like chicken walking on Japanese ground with samurai swords, and they're just like clash clash. Okay, we're done, kind of thing.
Well, I mean,
It's not
I
even
think
like it's
giving
not. I mean,
something you're giving it a 5 out of 10 on a reasonable scale, though. So I think that's like fine if you say
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
At least for you, that just means that it's neither good nor bad. It's just
But
kind of there.
but I would also kind of like point out like I think I've like appreciated like decent like really like they have to be pretty flashy for me to like appreciate it because I don't you know watch mecha series as often. But it's like stuff like
Well, I
teaching.
mean, if a mecha series isn't flashy, then like there's really no
Yeah,
point.
it's not really that flashy. It's literally they're just like they have samurai swords, and they're like standard mecha models, and they're not even like jet flying towards each other. Or it's not like Infinite Stratus or anything like that where they're like or like usual Gundam stuff where they're just like they're kind of like you know battling each other in the skies or anything like that. It's just like oh they're like chicken walking along the ground. It's like okay, you get okay. What do you want me to say? But yeah, that's my review of Kurumaguro. Um, that wasn't that much. I guess okay, we'll go over to Hayore maybe, and then since I don't think we had that much, I kind of want to do a subject matter conversation before we go into the news afterwards. So, Hayore, can we do a quick update on that? I think did we ever talk about? No, we talked about season 2, and then yeah, we talked about season 2, right, on this podcast, like when it actually came out. Did we do that?
I don't know. If you
I
did,
was not around for that.
if you
Yeah.
did, I don't think I was on.
Okay. All right. So Dark, you said you watched Hayuri Yaruko-san, and give
Uh,
a very brief description of what sort of Hayuri Yaruko-san appeals to, like the general sort of category genre thing, and then
But first off, what's the show about?
God damn. And then after you kind of describe that, just tell us your feelings about it.
Well, I mean, should I start off with, well, the show itself is like Lovecraftian, like it's
That's
hard to
Lovecraftian trivia, like
yeah, it's just basically it's Lovecraftian like trivia and Lovecraftian like theme. Well, not really theme.
it's
It's
not a
just
theme.
Lovecraftian like
It's like a comedy foil almost. It's
Yeah, it's not themes. I'm trying to think of what that would be. It's like
it's trivia.
Lovecraftian.
Just keep it to trivia.
Yeah,
because
just trivia pretty
it's
much
just
because
like
there
it's
are
just like
characters based on like Lovecraft themes and like there are things that reflect Lovecraftian like
yeah. It's
um
like how
characters and whatnot, but they're not. They're anime
you
girls,
know
so
you know how Yu Yu Shiki was like, oh, it's like the data like storage club or whatever the fuck it is, and it's like they use the context of like finding new things, but then it's like eventually it's just girls doing retarded stuff.
yeah.
It's like that.
This is pretty much like just hijinks, but with Lovecraft trivia,
Yep.
but also more references than one man could ever really know thrown into a single anime episode as well, but done in a way that isn't intrusive or disgusting or just nothing.
It's a
The
very
way
and
the way I
actually the
looked at it
specific references, not just
yeah,
like whatever.
it's very very specific. The way I described it was like the fact that you take something like Umaru, and Umaru is like the lowest.
Common denominator.
Well, not the lowest common denominator, but pretty damn close to that of like making references to things and how like you can and how they can make a reference to something but really not at the same time. Like they like in Umaru they make a reference to Metal Gear by just doing the whole CQC joke, and I feel like that is the easiest one to make
Mhm.
for Metal Gear. Like mostly anyone knows that, but then you look at something like Nyaruko-san, where the reference instead of that would have been like some kind of big line, but probably not too big line that a
Yeah.
character said instead, and they would use that in the context of the episode.
Yeah.
I think the best example I could give would be that Haster is a wind god, like a Lovecraftian wind god, and he shows up, and at one point he says, God, I think it's like at the end of the episode when he's going to like, or when they think he's going to leave and go back home, he says like, "Oh, the wind, this city has like a nice wind or something." I'm paraphrasing a little bit because
Yeah.
it's never really specific, but with the actual phrasing, I don't know the Japanese for it, so fucking sue me, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's a direct reference to Kamen Rider W, and they do a lot of Kamen Rider stuff. They do a lot of visual Kamen Rider stuff, but when they do the Kamen Rider lines, they get like really, really good ones where it'll be like either the catchphrase of the character or they'll use, they've even used like intros to like the song lyrics and stuff from the openings of Kamen Rider, from certain Kamen Rider series like W, and I think Forze is another big one they use.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like you look
Also,
at
just
that
like
and it's
all like anime series like from the past, 1 or 2 decades, like all like down the line, like down the line.
There was the sadness part where they started making Index and Railgun references. That was really great.
You want to tell them about the Kuroko line? That's I almost don't want to spoil it because it's such a good line.
Yeah,
if you have
there is that is one that I will honestly say not to spoil because it's
Yeah.
a very very good one.
Oh my god.
You kind like if you know both series, like you see it
You're like,
coming,
oh my god.
you're like,
oh my
fuck,
god.
are they gonna actually go for it? And then they do, and it's fantastic.
And it's actually like legit in context. It's like
Yeah.
it's not like they just like pull it up like, oh, by the way, anime reference or like whatever. It's like
Yeah,
like and Umaru I think is slightly criminal to that, where it's like Umaru, sure, she's lazy and just like does cola and
it's
poppers,
not as
but she kind of pulls it out. Yeah.
yeah, it's not as bad as when people say it is the what is that show? Big Bang Theory of anime, but it is damn close. Like it is really close. Because I would say like Big Bang Theory just kind of lists off things.
Yeah, but like Nyariko-san is very clever about using.
Yeah, Nyariko-san does not actually like call too much attention to a lot of it. A lot of the times,
like and it's like I don't think maybe you like got some of the anime references. Like you saw there were some references there maybe, but you were like, this is a series that like it's not like an obvious like Street Fighter.
Yeah. The nice thing about it is there are references that I don't get.
Yeah, and then later you'll understand them as you watch.
But I also don't recognize that they're references at the time.
The thing is with Nyaruko-san, like when I watched it a long time ago, I noticed that there was a reference at least every 30 seconds in that show.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah,
stop,
pretty much.
and it's
It
not
never
an all the way obnoxious or anything. It's just like a single one-liner that, like, if you know what the
It's like
source,
cute. It's cute. Yeah.
the source is, you know exactly what the reference is, and
Yeah.
it's like that's it.
Yeah, and like I was saying, like the nice part is, and I think that's a good sign. That's the sign of like it being done very well.
Yeah.
Is that like if you didn't understand the reference,
Mhm.
you're not sitting there like, fuck, I didn't understand the reference.
Well, like, why is she posing for like
Just-
5 seconds? Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh shit, I know there's a reference there and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I feel left out or something. It's like,
Yeah.
nah, it moves on very
But
quickly.
then later, and
Called
this is
attention to itself.
yeah, and this is what I call the rewatchability, because I think Naruto is very like directly rewatchable in the sense that like you'll like after watching more anime, you'll want to come back to it and then watch it just to get more references.
Yeah,
Like
it's pretty
I watched this thing 3 times and I got more references each time, and it was ridiculous.
I think, yeah, like I think the one recommendation I would make before telling anyone to watch it would be definitely watch Kamen Rider W at least. Because
every time they get stabbed or some shit.
there are so many. Yeah, it's like W and O's seem to be like the two real big
Psycho.
ones. But then
I
there's
mean,
also
like, I'm gonna call you out on that because you're a complete idiot about that. Because they reference every Kamen Rider from like.
no. Well, first of all, no, they don't. The
Yeah,
big ones are the new ones. They really
no,
they
they're not
mention
old
Black.
anymore. They've done Kamen Rider 1's pose, Kamen Rider 2's pose, Amazon.
Okay, yes, they've
all
done
the
the
other-
poses, but they have literally taken out the sword from O's. They've done the transformation from
It's
O's.
not.
They've
What
said
sword from
lines
Oh yeah,
from
yeah. I've
O's.
seen. Yeah, you're
They've
right.
said lines from Den-O. They don't say lines from the old Kamen Riders. They just do the.
I'm gonna call you out on that and say you're wrong because they totally have.
They've done like 3. Okay, they don't have characters yelling out the lines as they go off screen from the fuck.
Yeah, they do. I thought, man, you need to
No,
watch
they
more anime if you don't know that.
They literally do not, Toast. I just watched the series.
You've never watched Kamen Rider 1, like Black, or RX Black, Amazon Strong,
I
whatever.
watched a breakdown of each episode, or not a
Wow.
breakdown. I
What a
read a
loser.
breakdown reference in each episode. They don't actually get into that. They don't really. There are maybe like 3 occasions off the top of my head that I can mention that are like from an older Kamen Rider line wise, but every other thing was like I can remember like 7 occasions in which they name something from O's. Like they go really hard with the new generation of Kamen Rider over the old.
All right, so
Like,
wait for-
I mean,
Fucking
wait for the-
nerds.
I got completely fucking sidetracked.
yeah, all right.
And
don't
it's
even
not
care
just
about-
anime references in Yaruko. There's a lot of other
Yeah, I mean,
references too. I mean, when
Well,
the second
that's
season
what I was
aired,
gonna-
it was very topical because it was like a new, or was it Monster Hunter? Like one of the
there's
new
a lot
Monster
of
Hunters was coming out, and they referenced that in
Wow.
like the pool episode. It's very,
Yeah.
the anime itself is very, very topical with what was coming out that season.
wait, dark. Have
Yes.
you watched the second season or the OV after the second season, like Naruto San F or whatever?
No, I have not watched.
Ah,
All right. If you watch it, like tell me your reaction after you watch like the intro, like the sort of like the beginning sequence, because you'll be like, okay, guys, all right, okay, sure, you do that.
I mean,
Like it'll
even just W, like the second seasons. First of all, it's named W, so I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that in itself is a reference to Kamen Rider W because there's no other reason for it
it's
to be
actually
named
it's
W.
actually multiple things, because it's like W is actually also the whole like wara, or like the laughter in Japanese, so it's actually multiple levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something. Like the opening for that one has all the characters doing like almost every Kamen Rider like transformation pose at that point, because it's just even the side characters they have all in the intro lining up, and they're all doing a different pose. and it's all from a different like Kamen Rider or Sentai. Yeah, there. Another thing I was going to get into with that was I really appreciate that they not only do the Kamen Rider references, but they also get into a lot of they balance it by doing just as many Lovecraft references and like Lovecraft themes strung throughout, which is nice because I thought like there's a lot of Kamen Rider stuff and there's a lot of anime stuff, but hopefully I was like hoping from the beginning that they would keep up with a lot of the Lovecraft things because there's something about like
Mhm.
Cthulhu and Haster and I can't even remember exactly what Nadeko's.
Nyarla Tohotep or something.
Yeah, like Naruto. There's something about those old gods and like Lovecraftian horrors being anime girls that really hit something that just was there for me that I didn't
Yeah,
know.
it's just the right amount of crazy.
Anime
Yeah.
Crazy
boys
is
too.
just right.
Hey man, I mentioned Haster. It's great. Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, Haster is a boy.
Cute boy.
Best Rei Kugamiya voice. Well, anyways, yeah, so that's good. Hopefully, it's a pity that it's there's no, maybe it's better this way. Yuri season 3. Look how that came out. Maybe
Well,
we
I
we have
mean, you say wait. Well, what do you mean? There's nothing. The OVA came out in like 2000, late 2014. Like
no
what?
no 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 no. What I'm saying is that it's best that a third season didn't come out.
Well, I mean, they could. Then like, there's still time.
Yeah, there's still time.
There's still a lot of time. Like it's
Maybe
not.
maybe maybe it'll do a very superbly straight adaptation, and with maybe slightly more references, and it'll be good. But it's like
Maybe once they have more Kamen Rider references.
yeah, it's just like we need to make sure that again we don't be too greedy. I think especially after Yuri, we were told that maybe having too much of a good thing can lead to
Well,
dangerous effects.
let's be real here, though. If Yuri Yuri was done by season 3 was done by the same studio,
Toba,
I think
yeah,
it'd be a very, very different conversation
that's
here.
very true. That is very true.
If it didn't get handed over and fucking just dropped completely.
Yanakosa goes over to Studio D. It just like explodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
Man,
So I think it's a good series to watch. I think it is one of the fewer series that really can't be called like meta or like reference heavy or like one of those series. You know what I mean? It's like I think a lot of series are being called meta when they're like their theme is based upon some real life stuff, and then they do some stuff that's like cute and it's like maybe industry relevant. But I don't think there are very few series I think that really goes as far in terms of like making these cultural references as Nyaruko-san does. Again, the only things I can think of are like that goes like even close to this extent, and none of them really even come close to Nyaruko. Is Lucky Star, Umar to a lesser extent. I think Lucky Star made much more references and stuff like that, much more specific references than Umaru did, and that's about it, really. Like,
yeah, there are very few, and even fewer that do it like very well for you. I mean, you in general, like not you, Spire.
yeah. All right, these guys are
Hey,
calling us
Dark.
out for not even talking about anime. Hey, we talk about plenty of anime in this season. It's just that a lot of them are like, it's not even
I
that they're
mean, what do
like,
you want? Like, what do you want to know about the anime this season? Like, Flying Witch continues to be cozy. Like, there's
yeah,
not
we already
nothing's
talked about
changed yet.
we
We're
already
only
talked
on
about
episode 5.
we already talked about a lot of series that are like worth talking about. Like, there's a specific reason why I didn't download or watch or want to talk about stuff like Omyoji, because it's not even a series worth talking about. Again, it's like Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry or fucking Shinmai Mao no Testament or whatever. It's not a series worth talking about. There are
I
things it
mean,
does. It does them bad. Okay, boom. It's not even like a specific complex problem that needs to be pointed out. Everybody knows what the problem is. It's like there's nothing to talk about, right?
I
Like,
think,
like I'm not gonna talk
as
about.
as we get farther into the season, then yes, but it's like as of right now, we're on episode 5, so it's like
I mean, what do
we
you want
have
me to
things-
say? Luluko's funny.
Yeah, but we even talked about
Like
Luluco before. Yeah, we talked about Luluco.
JoJo's JoJo,
JoJo
like
is good. JoJo is so good.
yeah,
It's so
JoJo
JoJo's
continues to have
so good
Stan.
because it's old.
All
I
right,
mean-
we need to move on. We need to move on.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dark. Hey, Dark. How do
Hey,
you
Toast.
feel about Kuko in Nyaruko-san?
Okay, so I
Dude, I
think that
hate you, Toast.
Kuko
Of course I
is
hate you. Oh my god.
Kuko is like the best.
Yeah.
I don't think she's the best girl for the main character. I think
I mean,
Naruto is,
yeah.
but I think that Kuko is like my favorite actual character.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's real good.
Do you like her voice?
I hate you, Toast.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. All right, we're
Great,
moving.
man.
We're moving on. All right.
It's weird how Kana Hanazawa can do so many voices in that show. Though I mean, there's just so many female leads.
Pretty talented.
Pretty
Even the
talented.
male lead is a female voice actress.
Yeah,
Kana
it's
Hanazawa.
Yeah.
Crazy. The rate is
Oh my god.
insane.
These fucking people. All right, we're moving on. Okay, so just to wrap up, I just want to kind of touch up on a subject matter before I go into the news, and this is a subject matter I posted in chat too, but the title kind of explains it all. What's the one beloved? And by beloved, I mean sort of like you can define. I think each person should define it, like how it's beloved, their context, whether it's popular or considered a classic or culted or whatever.
Hot shit.
Yeah, or the flavor of the month that you just don't get. So I would like actually people in chat to maybe think of a series too, and maybe we can talk about those series. But what do you guys think? I think Dark and I actually
Well,
talked
like
about this
what?
beforehand.
Yeah, what's the criteria?
Okay,
Like, are we gonna
but,
pick a?
So you should so it would be better for you guys to determine the context, but the general thing is like very popular, very like acclaimed. There's like a lot of praise for it, and you're just like, okay, why is there so much praise or acclaim for this?
Are we
And why
picking a
it's so
time period or
now,
like
are
any
we
time?
saying?
You can do whatever time period. I mean, maybe it would be more relevant to our viewers if we did it in the last 2 decades or something like that. But
Hey man, what if I want to
Are
talk
we
about
saying,
something in the
like, something
1980s?
that
What if I want to
Just
talk
oh,
about
baby.
60s anime?
Yeah, man.
Wow,
1920
so
then.
hipster. I don't get why all the Russians hated this manga. But
Now, are we saying things that we felt nothing for, or things that we hated? Because like,
it can be a combination of apathy, hate, confusion, whatever. It just
Just
it-
like
it's
just
don't,
like ner- just
you just
like,
like don't understand
contrast. Yeah, contrast
why
to the praise. Like
something was getting praised.
obviously, if you understood the or okay, I think the don't get has to be like somebody is saying A and you're like, wait, that's not really. It's like this A either isn't good or it's not A at all. That's the sort of contrast I think we're looking for. So it's like if
okay.
Attack on Titan is like, wow, it's so action. Either you say that action isn't good, or you say that's not really action at all. So that's sort of, I think that's the don't get part.
Yeah, because there are certain things like with Attack on Titan. Even when I first watched it, like I understood why people liked it, and I myself honestly enjoyed it my first watch through. But that changed after watching it a second time, very quickly.
Yeah.
But
So an example
Like,
is
I'm trying to like limit myself here
Yeah,
to find which series I actually want to pick.
yeah. So Prince said actually Madoka. I mean, like it would be also nice, Prince, if you could like provide like maybe like a certain reason, like because I think also a lot of like the praise for Madoka is a bit vague. That's part of the reason why Madoka is somewhat divided when people talk about it. But anyways, Dark. You want to list your series? Because I talked about you about this first.
Shit. There are. I mean, in recent years, it would. Fuck. It's hard to say because there are a lot of ones that just pass over me. Like there are a lot that I'm just like I don't understand why. But I mean, there's ones that are like everyone kind of gets.
You want to
why.
watch? You want to list the ones?
SAO, like
S-
SAO off the top of my head, I'm like, I understand why people like it, but I'm like, it's fucking terrible. You shouldn't. You should feel bad about yourself.
that doesn't count then.
I think One Punch Man. One Punch Man is the one you listen to.
One Punch Man is one that I don't. But see, like I recognize why people like it, but I'm just like I don't.
but you
Because
said
that
that's
doesn't
not
count
that
either.
good.
Get it.
That's not that good, is what you're saying. The way
well,
it's set up, it's actually not that good.
everyone. I mean, not only that, but every fucking person who I say that I don't like One Punch Man, and they go, "Why?" I'm like, because I think Saitama is the least interesting character in the cast, and I don't want to watch a show or read a manga about him. I want to read something about someone else, and at this point, I don't give a shit anymore.
Or you don't want to watch manga where it's like literally just gifs, like Tumblr
You
gifs.
can't watch
Yeah,
manga. You watch anime, Egypt.
I don't.
Oh,
Well, no,
excuse me,
with
sorry.
One Punch Man, you can because you turn.
Yeah,
it
it's actually
Watch
you're
it.
so right.
But
17 pages
like-
later, I regret everything.
yeah, 1 month later, you get another gift. But I think that series in particular, I understand why people like it, but every time someone tells me, yeah, but like Saitama, like, yeah, but that's the point. Like, you know, Saitama is the boring one or whatever, and everyone else is more interesting. And I'm like, well, that's not good. Like, why do you actually enjoy that then? Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, if your protagonist is actually, like, I don't see the point, but I can recognize why people like it. I think the one that I'm literally ignorant about, like completely ignorant about, and will probably remain ignorant about because I literally do not care to like the utmost
Fathom the depths.
is
Fathom
like
the depths. Yeah.
is Madoka, like Madoka. Like I don't
It's very
do
vague.
not care on so many levels
So many levels.
about Madoka. Like it's ridiculous. The thing that turned me off initially was someone I know saying, "Man, you should watch Madoka," and I'm like, "Why should I watch Madoka?" And they're like, "Well, it's a magical girl anime, but it's super dark and gritty."
Yeah, that's
don't
the
know
main.
at first. And
That
I
triggered
was
me.
immediately like, "I don't fucking care." Then.
I'm immediately triggered.
Like it's a psychological thriller, or like a psychological show. I'm like, I don't fucking care. Like what?
Technically, everything Urobuchi writes is a psychological thriller, but it doesn't really thrill you in that sense.
Yeah, man, like Suisei no Gargantia.
Yeah, fucking.
And
I don't get
Terraformers?
why people.
3 episodes.
I don't get why
Kamen
people
Rider
describe. I don't people.
People dying, and I'm like, 2 fucking people died in that series. Like, it really was not dark. It really was not gritty.
the reason why
he just throws like
People
a
in the
psychological theme or something in
Yeah,
there, and
he-
he's
he
just like,
also-
well, there you go.
he also has these like very grand sort of large scale like effects of like the theme or like the moral lesson or whatever on the environment, and that makes people think it's like very thematic or like psychological or whatever. It's not. Urobuchi never deals in small scales. It's not like Okada where it's like you can kind of see things changing at like the drop of a hat or like a single tear or whatever. It's like Gen Urobuchi, when he's talking about moral lessons, he will swipe aside 2 buildings to do it. Like that's how he teaches lessons.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty much the same thing in Gaim. Like there, and also the time loops again. And I feel like whenever you get into like time loops and fate and stuff like that, that's when you start getting more and more people who say like, "Oh man, that was like really crazy," and it's in actuality, it's like it's not that.
Psychological. But yeah,
like
that's
Fate Zero. I saw what you did with the Fate. You're pretty good there, Dark.
Oh
Yeah, except he hasn't watched Fate Zero yet. Fucking loser.
Like-
Yeah, what a
Fate.
loser.
Unlimited Blade Works by Studio D.
Oh my god. All right, so I think I guess I'll go next because again, Dark and I talk about this first, so I'm gonna give Toast and Yer a bit more time. The series I don't really get the the appeal of. Like I get why it could be appealing, but I don't get why it's considered like such a like philosophical like literary masterpiece kind of thing. Is Cowboy Bebop, and I know. And I've also,
here we go. Here we go.
I've also put.
Wow, are you trying to make our viewers drop Spire?
Yeah,
Here we
we've already
go.
lost every viewer, I think. But I've also said this about Space Dandy to a lesser extent, but Space Dandy is more criminal in that it's just it's like again, it's like being in a bouncy tent. But I think what Cowboy Bebop did well more than anything else is fuse this sort of Western culture slash sort of artistic outlook, or what Japan thinks of that sort of thing, and anime like in the older days, quote unquote, together in a sense that really kind of balanced it and didn't make it seem cringe. You know what I mean? It's not like they just had a very like a facial like random muscular black dude like appear or
Wow,
whatever.
that's
It wasn't
racist.
like that.
He's not
Yeah.
even black. He's Japanese.
And it's and I think it's that sort of thing sort of appealed to people on a subconscious level. But a lot of people are kind of like, wow, there's there's so much like they include in this like jazz soundtrack that's so good, and then they do all this stuff that's like so philosophical and tells you about loneliness and stuff like that, and it's like, well, like it doesn't really like do introspection into like loneliness. It's like the guy is alone, but it's not like he goes through like different aspects of it, like the good and the bad or whatever. He's just kind of like there. And second of all, like there are plenty of series that kind of do that stuff better, in my opinion. Like Sakamichi no Poem is a very recent example of doing jazz soundtrack better. I think it was appealing in that it was a series that spearheaded what anime could sort of represent at the time, and I recognize that. But I'm not sure how timeless it is in a sense. I think it's like one of those like old documentaries thing, like where you look at it and you're like, wow, this is a nice thing. But when people are like, wow, it's a timeless classic masterpiece, kind of like that, uh, I kind of like lose track. Yeah, so that's my kind of point out. Um, what about now that everybody's fucking like about to judge me pretty hard?
Wow, you don't like Cowboy Bebop? Get off this
Yeah.
podcast.
Uh, but what about you, Nier?
You just don't like Westerners, do you? You're racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, you racist fuck. You don't like Steve Blum either, I bet.
Yeah. Do you just
Um,
hate anime
Do you
and
just
like
hate Toonami in general?
yeah, just you hate to know? Do you hate the fact that we're getting anime and manga? Excuse me. You just want to ruin anime now.
You just want to keep it in the East, in pure Japanese. Racist.
Yeah, why can't you be happy?
Why can't you be happy we're getting localization?
Can't you just kickstart all of this stuff, please? Just shut up and just kickstart it. All right, Nier.
I'm kind of having trouble thinking of something I don't like uh get, because for most stuff for most like really popular stuff, I mostly understand why people like it. But I mean, I can disagree with why people like it. Like,
I guess just give the top one for that then, because
I mean, I guess the most recent biggest example would be obviously like One Punch Man, which, as I'm told, I just don't get it.
Yeah, man, it was voted NeoGAF's best anime of 2015.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, it
why
was,
people
huh?
watch anime.
This anime gets us.
fucking thanks, Gaff.
I just don't. Uh, I mean, I guess I understand why people like the whole, One Punch Man. Saitama makes the funny face and then he punches the man.
Well, I mean, you
The
said time and time
once.
again, like you've proven that you clearly understand the joke.
I get the
You just
joke.
don't
I
like
just
the joke.
I don't like the
But
joke.
Nier, he kills them in one punch. It's the title drop whenever he fights.
Yeah, it's parody.
Oh, it's a parody of superhero anime.
It's parody. I can't not like it. No, that's not how parody works. I don't like One Punch Man. I don't like it.
Would you punch One Punch Man if you could punch him in the face, man?
Yeah, I'd much rather like One Punch Man just not be One Punch Man. Be something else. Be like an actual action series, and not a fake parody series. I
Don't
mean,
worry,
most
near the sequel's gonna be called Two Punch Man.
yeah, most highly praised series. Like I get why people like it. I just if I don't like it, I don't like it. You know.
Do you get why I like Data Live?
No.
Mm,
No, actually,
well, no,
I do.
I don't. I don't understand why you like anything actually, Toast. Because a lot of the things you like is fucking awful.
All right. On that note, Toast.
I
You
mean,
want to point out?
if you want to go that way, I don't understand why you like Blue Saber. She's kind of boring when you obviously have Red Saber,
I
who's like
mean,
All right,
superior in
Red
every way.
Saber's fucking gross. Don't. Let's not.
Gato
you
Saber is the
talking
best
about
saber.
Saber Extra?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she's equally as boring. Like
I mean, no, man,
And her
not.
art's just
Oh man,
worse.
she's
she has,
basically Ryder from
she
Fate
has
Zero if she was
a,
a girl.
she's just a cocky like saber.
I
She's the
mean,
same thing.
I mean, like
She's fucking
she
Saber Palette too, dude.
Saber Extra is basically what would happen if Iskander was a girl. So
Yeah,
it's
but
basically the
Iskander's
same thing.
cool because he's a bro, and then when Saber
Wow,
Extra does, she's just like
that's
a
sexist.
bitch.
Fuck you, Toad.
All
No,
right.
she's nice. She's nice to her praetor. She's not mean. What are you?
All right.
What are you
All right.
talking
All
about?
right. We need to stop the saber talk. Toast.
No,
What is?
I want to talk about Saber.
No, shut the fuck up. All right. We're gonna move on then. All right. Actually, in all seriousness, Toast, what series do you not get? Sort of like, oh, what? But that other people are like, always praising all the time.
I mean, like same problem I had with Nier that Nier has. With like, I have to think about this because unlike you guys, I am pretty well versed in anime, so I understand everything and whatnot. You know, like I get why people like Cowboy Bebop. I get why people like Evangelion, why they like Madoka. And it's like, all right, I can understand that. But I had to dig deep, and I think, but like I had to dig deep and think of something that I really like, or I am super neutral about because I don't think too much of it. So I have to go with Nichijou, really.
Okay.
Like not the KyoAni Nichijou, not Danchiko Kosei no Nichijou, because I think that's better in like every possible aspect. Like, well, the problem I have
Wait,
with
which Nichijou?
Just Nichijou.
Yeah, the Kiwani.
Yeah,
Kiwani one.
that one.
Okay, I thought you said not the Kiwani one. I was like, well, then which one?
Yeah, like, I mean,
Why is wait a second? Cecile's like, what? I got one. Why is Detective Conan episode 816? Oh man. Wait, go on, Toast.
like, I mean, I personally, I just don't think it's that funny anymore. Like, it's the same kind of shock comedy that you have from Azumanga, except Azumanga actually had like some sort of like overlying plot with it and more interesting characters. With Nichijou, it's like the most basic of four coma where you just have like a bunch of girls. They do something and then reaction faces
Yeah, it's
and it's
very
like
basic, like
shock
slapstick stuff.
like
Yeah.
slapstick shock comedy and it's like big explosions and cheese.
Slapstick and shock comedy are two very different things.
I think it's I mean it is. So there was a big thing where it's like, do you guys all know Roger Ebert? Like the um
No,
Yeah.
Spire, enlighten us.
so Roger Ebert is a very or is was a very outspoken movie critic. And he again, as an outspoken person, he had very strong views on stuff from video games to sort of sophomore humor. So sophomore humor being very juvenile, very basic humor. And he was like, sophomore humor is a very lower form of art because it appeals to the lowest common denominator. It doesn't require intelligence to watch it, etc., etc., etc. And as a lower form of art, it doesn't hold as much value as higher forms like satire or whatever. Um, So I think this is sort of the thing we're going into, right? Is what you're talking about. It's like it's very like basic. It's appealing to a very low denominator or the lowest common denominator, and you're like, okay, well,
No, I'm not gonna say that. I think it's more like it's similar, like Looney Tunes esque, where it's like, oh, she stubbed her toe, and like oh that's a and like she makes this funny face, but then like she shoots a beam out of her mouth, and there's like a tactical nuke in the world, and it's like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like they blow their big budget on these like really cool like actiony scenes, but they just came out of like a gag. Like she stubbed her
yeah.
toe, or like
Well,
you touch a key, and then like the world explodes.
it's a bit like too surreal, set in like in a very normal context, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
it's like, and then like she drops a hot dog, and then like suddenly we go into bullet time and
Yeah, exactly.
whatnot, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I think Toast just doesn't get the joke.
it's a
I,
very
You
unique.
just don't get the joke.
Toast
I
is
just,
inferior.
It's a parody, okay? You cannot disagree.
I just don't find that funny. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
you could have done a super cool series, Keone, but
Yeah.
you just rehashed this, and then later on you're like, screw it, we're just gonna release it again, but in like HD. Is that what they do with Nichijou? They re-released it
Oh,
twice.
I forget.
Oh, sure as shit didn't get a season 2.
Some weird stuff happened. But yeah,
But
it's Ichijo is definitely not like if you're if it's like it appeals to a very specific brand of like like very surrealistic slapstick sort of. It's like you have to be expecting the stupid shit to happen, else you're not gonna like you're not gonna find it funny, and it's like
I
okay.
mean, like yeah, like Lucky Star is similar-ish, and
Well,
like,
Lucky Star, I think it's much more
but
based
it has
on
a more, but
conversation.
it's a way
Yeah.
better like, it
It's
has a
it's
plot line.
it's much more based on the character interactions leading into these cultural references and these conversational sort of like humor.
I mean, yeah,
Uh,
that's why I mentioned Azumanga and whatnot, and
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
even Pani Pony Dash, that was funny. I understood it, but Nichijou, it's mostly like it's just for the funny cartoonish faces and
Well,
whatever.
Nichijou, I feel like, is in a different, like a pretty special place, just because it's like it has a lot of different varied like comedies. Well, I mean, if you want to consider them completely different, but they have like a lot of deadpan mixed with a lot of slapstick mixed with like I don't know. It's just like a mixture of a bunch of stuff. So in doing that, I feel like
It's
that's where it becomes that really weird,
not it, yeah. I just didn't
surrealist
find it funny.
thing.
I mean, like
But yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
either I would say it's either you're gonna like it or you're just not going to really
I
understand
mean,
why
like
you
yeah.
think it's funny.
And I'm the one who likes stuff that you guys don't like, so
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
like the
mean,
Kantai collection.
I mean, as long as we understand like what values we're coming from and that we're like like consistent along these values, it's not like it's like I understand that this sort of surrealistic kind of thing where it's like it's a lot of its humor is just based on thing here now it's explode stuff like that. Like it's not going to appeal to everybody, and that's fine. And I don't think I've ever really said like wow, Nichijou is definitely like a type of humor that'll appeal to everyone, but it's like as long as we understand, and it's not like like I Toast, like I fucking hate what you do sometimes, but I kind of understand why you do it. Like other than the fact that you like this fucking Toka in Date Alive, although she doesn't do any work or whatever, that's not we don't agree on that. Like
I mean,
um
I mean, what's there to not like about her? She does.
because she
I
doesn't do
really
any
like her
work.
voice. I really like her
She like
voice
appears at
actor.
the end of the volume and it's like, hey, pat
And it's
me,
like, yeah,
MC.
it's like,
It's like,
yeah,
okay,
it's
yeah, you get
Toka.
yeah, you get
Yeah,
it. It's like,
it's
God
like
damn it.
this made the entire volume worthwhile if I just get it's that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Oh well.
But yeah,
Alright.
like I really have to compare it to something like the other Nichijou, Danshikoko say, where Bomber Grape also has that sort of like slapstick style humor, but he does it in a way that's actually like really funny, and it's drawn out, and the jokes are pretty intricate and well written. If you when you get it, like the whole scene with the library girl, oh, that's so good. I mean, like that's what I mean, Bomber Grape does that whole where he does his whole like lesbian Toho dojin where like you know, the room is ripe with the stench of bitches, and it's really funny. But I mean, Nichijou, yeah, Nichijou's probably all flash, and I don't like that. I mean,
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah.
like you have to have the explosion ending in Bomber Grape Doujins. It's like common, but the way you get there is pretty funny, and I don't know.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
understand me?
Yeah. No, I do. I do.
It's just
Okay.
not that funny. Bomber
No,
Grape
no,
is
no.
way better than Nichijou, or Janchi Kokosei is way better than Nichijou because it's less surreal than.
It's much more like Gintama humor or Gintama conversational humor. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's just
You
like
you have to have a good
conversation. Yeah,
yeah,
and
man.
like talking and stuff, dialogue.
It's like a manzai, you know. You have to have a good lead up to it, and before you unveil the big joke.
Yeah.
That's why downtown is so popular, not though, and they replace the old manzai style with their conversational type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get you. It's like the conversational humor has to be more
Yeah.
slightly more fun. Okay. Also, before we go on to the news, can you answer Cecil's question? When a Kantai collection girl gets gift, do they explode into metal fragments or blood and guts? Please, please.
They just drown in the sea. Their equipment explodes and then
They
they
just
just
sink.
slowly sink. They asphyxiate to death.
But then they become an abyssal, and then if you kill the abyssal, they can become a regular girl again or whatever.
Yeah, man. The abyssals, when the abyssals die, they bleed. And,
I want
I
to
thought
I
they
want
just
to
become a regular person again.
I want a comic like GIF or like a Yonkom or something like that where it's like where they shoot the Kankone girl and she sinks down and she resurfaces back as an abyssal and then you shoot them again and they sink back and they resurface as a regular girl and it just repeats like over and over again.
The never-ending cycle.
I'm gonna click this, Tom. What is this?
これでもう大
No!
all right,
I know
all right. Let's move on.
I know what that
Move on
is,
to the
Tom.
news.
Don't do that to me.
We need to move on to the news. Oh God, the red is this the red thread of fate or whatever or is this is movie actually.
This
Okay,
is
never mind.
episode 3, man.
Oh really? I thought it was movie shit. But
This is the episode where I skip work to watch. And
okay.
this is the one where the entire series
Does she
went
come
downhill.
back as an abyssal?
No.
Yeah.
That's
To
stupid.
be
Alright, we need
answered
to-
in season 2.
Fuck this. Fuck this series.
All right.
Fuck
We need
this
to legit move on to news.
It's a fucking web game. What do you expect?
All right. So we actually do have a lot of interesting pieces of news today, although maybe not as important as we have had in the weeks before. The first piece of news is actually very interesting. Again, this is part of the or I'll say it first. So the Tokyo government offers support for original anime production to promote overseas business development. So what this happens is like an application slash sort of like competition slash like funding kind of thing, like a general government funding thing, where the winners, which will be like creative staff, directors, stuff like that, they will get the opportunity to direct pitches, proposals, and business discussions with overseas producers. So
Like Funimation.
get Netflix
In Netflix and Crunchyroll.
please stop joking
And
me.
GameSpot.
I hate you, dude. But anyways, what's happening is
EOGAF.
they're
Reddit.
creating
Oh,
connections. Reddit.
The Reddit
Facebook.
anime.
Facebook.
Oh, God damn it.
So they're trying to create these connections and like get this overseas funding because God knows, overseas international funding is like, so many times more than, what the anime business does, pays its guys. So they're trying to get a little bit off that and, trying to connect it. And the government is stepping in, which is, I think, really nice. So what do you guys think?
I wonder who's gonna win.
Who's
Like I don't
who's gonna
understand
like
this article
who's gonna
much.
like produce this overseas? What?
It's like
What?
like Korea. Hey.
Overseas, it's probably gonna be Korea, China, or maybe maybe even U.S. stuff because U.S. seems like pretty either U.S. or U.K. for the West, but there might be a small U.S. kind of thing.
Saban. Like I don't understand this article like all
Just-
that well.
Just because there are like because of this like recent active development on like U.S. companies trying to take the reins in like original anime creation. I think maybe.
Applications are open to all registered small and medium businesses in the Tokyo metropolitan area, as well as registered sole proprietors in the same region. Like
Yeah.
what?
Sole proprietorship is essentially your own self-run business. Like you're
No,
the
I
sole.
mean like, if they're talking about overseas anime, why are the only applications like applicable for Tokyo area?
Because it's Tokyo government. It's not like Japanese like government taking over. It's like Tokyo government created like a small thing, and the reason why they do it is probably because most of the most of the anime studios and stuff like that are, a lot of the big ones I think are actually based in Tokyo, if I
So
remember.
no, I mean like, are they gonna do an anime about overseas development? The
No,
anime? I'm
no, they're gonna
confused.
no, they're going to be okay. They're going to Tokyo government is giving money to creative directors and staff in the Tokyo region, like aspiring people, and they're going to be like, here's some money and connections to overseas people, overseas production studios.
Like Crunchyroll and
Yeah,
whatnot.
or something like that. Yeah,
Netflix.
yeah.
All right, all right.
So we may get Knights of Sidonia season 3.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying?
Can't wait.
Can't fucking
We're gonna
wait.
get. I
Or
mean, we're gonna get
Space
more stuff like Ruby and whatnot. Steven Universe, Wakfu.
Japanese Steven Universe.
Shut the fuck up with Steven Universe. Don't even.
Oh.
Please never bring up Steven Universe.
You fucking
Ever
wanna
again.
give me
Rick and
shit for
Morty.
bringing up fucking
Rick and
Ruby
Morty
as,
is
as not
actually
anime.
I
anime.
don't
You know that?
And then you're like,
Avatar.
shut up. It's more fucking anime than Steven Universe. Dumbass.
Red
Adventure
versus Blue.
Time.
Red versus Blue.
Red
anime?
vs. Blue is anime now. Maybe when Monty was doing the fucking like seasons of 8 and 9 or whatever.
All right, we need to move on.
All right. I
Alright.
mean,
All right, so
I don't
this
know.
is more
Wakfu.
interesting in like what's happening.
Justice
today.
League anime.
God,
Shut
the fuck
up. Just shut up.
All right.
Oh,
The
man.
next
Fuck.
piece of news is the Hollywood Reporter says that the live-action Battle Angel Alita film is testing 3 actresses for the.
Don't do this, dude.
I think we need more
Battle Angel Alita out of all the series. Like, why? Like,
How
I
are they gonna pull off a live action Battle Angel Alita where the main character fucking explodes into a robotic
CGI.
skeleton with
CGI.
a dismembered fucking human head?
dude.
Remember when
Ever
Mars
seen
Attacks?
a green screen?
They've done dismembered human heads in Mars
No, no, no.
Attacks.
What I'm wondering
Yeah,
is
they
like,
put
since-
fucking James Bond's head on a chihuahua.
Yeah,
now.
man, they can do
No,
that.
no. What I'm wondering is, okay, the appeal I'm sort of there, depending on this appeal of this like uh independent woman undergoes deadly martial arts training into doing stuff, bounty hunter stuff,
Oh
like
no.
sort of doing the dark superhero coattail, or riding the dark superhero coattail kind of thing, right? Like,
Street Fighter:
especially
The Legend of Chun Li.
especially after Deadpool and stuff like that. But like Battle Angel Alita though, it's like this series is like, it's not exactly like, you know what I mean? It's like when you're thinking of all the
Yeah,
popular
hot
anime,
shit.
yeah, hot
Remember,
shit.
Remember
when,
Dragon Ball Evolution?
remember when
That was hot
everybody
shit.
was like, "Oh man, Battle Angel Alita, yeah, that's hot shit of the season."
Can I raise my hand and say that this is like the third time I've ever heard of this series, and
Yeah,
also
exactly.
know
It's like-
nothing about it?
like who, like, I think they're also kind of depending on like market analysis, like people who watch anime or something like that. But I don't think they filtered out people who watch Battle Angel Alita, because if you filter out for those people, the analysis is slightly more.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the
Like, just
first
because
time
people watch anime doesn't mean that they watch Battle Angel Alita.
the first time I've ever heard of this series was when this was brought up that Hollywood
super-
may do a movie.
Super
of
old.
this.
It's like
Or, well,
1980.
not Hollywood would do a movie of it, but I forget who owns the rights to it. I think it was like fucking, was it James Cameron or something? What was it?
1990.
Originally owned the rights
All
to
I
someone owned the rights
all
to
I
it.
want
They were
is
like,
a-
maybe I'll make a movie, and everyone was like, please, dear God, don't.
Please no. what I want is a crossover between Battle Angel Alita and Pokemon in a live action crossover.
Can we throw fucking Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson in there too, please?
Scarlett Johansson's Pikachu. Oh my god! All right.
As Leonardo DiCaprio swallows a fucking gun because he wanted to do a Battlefront, not Battlefront, God, what was that shit? I can't even remember the name of it anymore.
movie?
Macross?
Macross?
What's the other Macross? What's the not Macross, but it is Macross? It was half Macross in America.
Robotech.
Yeah, Robotech. You want to do a fucking Robotech movie?
I mean, they
And,
could
like,
they could do a Robotech.
Well, he really wanted to do one, and I'm just like, man,
I'd actually prefer a Robotech movie over like Battle Angel Alita. I mean, like as long as it's something better than freaking G Savior.
Okay.
I mean, they've
I don't-
done Pacific Rim. That's a good robot movie.
I don't see how they're gonna do anything in Battle Angel Alita in live action because
They're-
Battle Angel Alita is extremely surreal. Like, I don't.
It's weird. We'll see how it goes. Again,
And-
there's been a lot of like live action attempts, but who knows how
damn it,
long
America.
it'll go.
Why does
Have you
America have to
seen-
make live action of every anime manga?
I mean, Japan
series?
also does that. It's
Yeah,
just
but
that- but they do it of like a bit more sensible series.
yeah,
except
man,
for
like
maybe
Rurouni
Ghost
Kenshin.
Like-
That was good.
All
Even
right,
the Death
we-
Note ones were pretty good.
Nir clearly has never seen Inception. All right, clearly Hollywood knows
Yeah,
how to
man.
do it.
Final
Yeah,
Fantasy:
'cause,
The
you
Spirits
know,
Within. That's my
people
favorite
were-
movie.
People were exploding into angelic robot skeletons in
I
Inception.
mean, it was dreams, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was all.
How much more surreal can you get?
That was all
Did you see a
landscape
city
CG, dude. It
Fucking
wasn't
flip upside down.
people turning into fucking monstrosities.
That's fine. That's small time, man.
all right, all right. We need to move on.
I mean, who's the director? Like, do they have a? Did you mention the director?
I forget. Where is this thing?
I mean, like the Power Rangers movie
Uh,
that's coming up.
That looks bad.
Fucking costumes that look like Tony Stark's
Yeah,
rejected.
man, they look like
oh,
Iron Man.
James Cameron.
James Cameron's fine.
It is James Cameron. I knew it because James Cameron owns the. I'm pretty sure James Cameron owns the rights to it.
Yeah. All right, we need to actually
For
move
live
on.
action.
Okay, so going from that sort of distasteful news, we have two older, or not older, but more popular franchises back in the days that are kind of trying to make one more rush for relevance now. The first is a certain magical index. So
Here
the
we
producer,
go, boys.
the producer of the series, who is also Straight Edge, founded the recent new studio, or the new sort of publisher company / production studio hybrid, I guess. And former Dengeki Bunko editor-in-chief, also known as the King of Light Novels himself, Kazuma Miki, posted on his official account on Twitter account on Monday regarding the possibility of a third season of a certain magical index anime. He writes, "Please understand that this is an unofficial statement.
Please understand.
Please understand. I am always receiving everyone's passionate opinions on this. Index Anime Season 3 is plausible, so please wait."
Wow, no shit, it's plausible. No
Dark.
fucking shit. Like,
Dark.
It may or may not happen.
wow, Index Season 3 is plausible. It's almost like we have a ton of source material.
No. The question is he saying this because he wants to appease the fucking rabid fans who are telling him get an Index Season 3 out or I'll slash your throat? Or is he saying this because he's undergoing slight talks right now?
That's a good point. However, he could also. I do want to address that those fans that are at his throat
Yeah.
will be at their own throats once they realize the mistake
Season
they-
3 isn't gonna do anything for them. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like that story of like there's this it was like I forget if it was like a Jack London like novel or something like that, but it was like an Indian was like trying to drank like some whiskey or something like that, and then eventually he just like kept on drinking and kept on barting for the whiskey over and over and over again until he was just like running out, like he ran out and he was like in debt and stuff like that. It's like gonna be like that. Like
We're gonna be the ones apologizing through the floor.
Yeah, there's not gonna be enough. There's never gonna be enough of that sort of index content that you think you want or need or whatever, and it's not going to be in the correct format. It's not going to be good in sort of the anime way, and people are just going to want more and more to cover for the holes that it creates until
Well, the
turtles
thing
all the
is,
way down.
it's gonna be like crack until eventually you hit New Testament, and then you're gonna realize it was all a mistake anyway,
Yeah.
and you should have gone on the fucking railgun wagon when you could have.
Oh well. All right, and then the other series is that the complete Haru Suzumiya soundtrack has been announced with teaser for more in 2016. So the YouTube channel for the official YouTube channel, I think, for the SOS Brigade slash Haru Suzumiya kind of like thing, um, is coming out. They're releasing the soundtrack collection, although there are a couple of music collections similar to this out there on the internet. Um, blah blah blah. It's about $46, including previously unreleased tracks, stuff like that.
Jesus Christ.
So that's gonna be interesting. Depending on how much stuff there is, because there's a lot of Haru Suzumiya stuff. Like if it's $46 for Haru Suzumiya, like the only things I would consider like soundtrack wise to be around $50 and above would be like Haru, K-On, Key remix stuff plus like Key collection stuff, Idolmaster and Love Live, like for right now, like stuff like that.
What about Kantai Collection?
Kill yourself.
I mean, there's the Kantai Collection Orchestra that's coming up.
Yeah,
So...
but like 99% of the stuff that's like made for Kantai is like Dojin stuff. So
I mean, not the soundtracks, man. They get new music every event.
I guess it's like
And why do you think we're having an orchestra?
Sure.
Because there's like a billion songs.
it's just like a lot of them are like pretty variant because I've like heard some of them, but it's a lot of them are pretty variant stuff. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so Haruhi said,
What's Haruhi?
God damn it.
I mean,
Shut up.
the people who don't know what Haruhi is,
Shut up.
you gotta explain it.
It's a popular Kyoani series that is also usually described as a gateway series, slice of life, supernatural stuff like that. But
Never heard of.
Haruhi
yeah.
says that we're planning to do lots of other fun stuff as the SOS Brigade this year, so make sure to check for news. It doesn't seem like it probably won't be like an OVA or anything like that, but it'll be a lot of little merchandise, YouTube decorations, contests, stuff like that probably. So that might be fun, but I'm not sure. It's probably just like a last push by the
It'll be
people.
a single post of art to Twitter.
Yeah. I think it'll be the last push for Hari to be relevant beyond, Aya Hirano like singing God
Hey,
knows
man.
or whatever the fuck.
Hi,
all day.
isn't Aya Hirano in America right now?
That is true. She is in New York right now. Or in June or something like that. I forget. But yeah, the thing is it's like it's their last push to be relevant, but whatever. It's like if they're gonna go out like this,
It's just gonna be like an OVA or some shit.
yeah, I don't think it's even gonna be an OVA. I think it's gonna be like one or two YouTube contests and maybe some like radio stuff. That's gonna be it, honestly.
Maybe.
All right, next piece of news: NIS America will no longer publish Atlas games in Europe. So, NIS.
I mean, they're called NIS America.
Yeah.
Why would they publish in Europe?
Does
Come
that mean
on.
that all the Atlas games will still come out at the same rate in Europe?
It probably means they won't come out at all now.
NIS
What's the
Because
America.
Atlas fucking
What's the
hates
difference?
Europe.
NIS America Managing Director Takura Yamashita revealed in an interview with British Gaming News, blah blah blah. So Yamashita explained the decision. Atlas became very picky about selecting the European publishing partner after it was bought by Sega.
European?
Always European. Yeah, it always cherry-picked its EU publishing partner based on who offered the highest minimum guarantee on a title-by-title basis. I noticed that it was very difficult for NIS America to establish an equal partnership with Atlas. Atlas and its European games have contributed a lot to the expansion of NIS America in Europe. I would like to express my greatest appreciation to them for that. So, is it you think it's on NIS's?
I don't know. I'm not European. How does this affect me personally?
It's probably on Atlas, honestly. Atlas is such a fucking
It
dumb
is.
company, honestly. Like, they make good games and all, but if they didn't have Persona, they'd be fucking dead. Like, with the decisions they make.
That's why Sega bought them.
Yeah. That's, I mean, they needed to be bought or they'd be dead. Like, yeah, this is definitely on
This is
Atlas.
definitely yeah.
I just
Yeah,
want
I
to
mean,
know what how they're gonna get their games to Europe, or if they're even gonna bother with Europe, because Atlas is
probably
notorious
Sega.
for uh, just not putting their games in Europe for up to like a year. Like only it took over a year, almost a year and a half, for Shin Megami Tensei 4 to get localized in Europe after it was localized in the West,
I mean, like,
in
why would
North
you need
America.
it to be localized in Europe? Does Europe have some sort of crazy European language? It's
It
English
was
over there, right?
It's with the whole PAL system or whatever,
Oh,
right?
gross.
Well, I mean, in general, SMT was Nintendo, right? That was on the 3DS or something.
Yeah,
SMT4.
Yeah, which means you're locked out.
region locking.
Yeah,
Good
so
job.
All right. Next piece of news. This is actually something that's been coming down the pipe quite some time in advance. Log Horizon author Mamoru Tono has been found guilty of tax evasion. So Mamoru Tono, who has done both Log Horizon and Mao Yu, also known as Mao Yu Yusha, was charged last April with tax evasion and violation of the corporate tax law for allegedly neglecting to file about 122 million yen, or about $1 million in royalties in the 3 years since the fiscal year ending in March 2014. Tono owes the Japanese government 30 million yen, or $270,000 in taxes. Blah, blah, blah. Tono was placed under house arrest last December, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, as anime and manga grow bigger, and it will become drastically bigger in funding as Netflix and Crunchyroll and the American market kind of comes in, it'll become much bigger in terms of how much money it gets. Things like this are going to start popping up because I don't think the artists are ready. I don't think they're ready at all. Like these people getting paid, $10,000 to $40,000 a year at most, making these series, working themselves to death, suddenly, just getting fucking like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Shit, they're gonna tax evade like they're fucking playing like dodgeball with the IRS or something. Like, it's gonna be crazy.
Does this mean
So,
we're never getting a Mao Mao Yusha season 2?
It's they're gonna be on hiatus.
a 3 year hiatus. I mean,
The Log Horizon characters are all gonna get up on a boat, and then they're gonna just stay there. It's
you're
like,
gonna get stuck in the database even further.
God damn it! I was gonna make that joke. I was waiting.
God,
Ah!
you should have done it sooner.
I was gonna say you could say he's on the police database now, but
God damn it.
God damn it, Dark.
You
Damn.
will
I was waiting
always
all
be
day.
living in the IRS database.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Right, yeah, but yeah, hopefully more people kind of try to stay honest, although again, as the market grows exponentially, it's going to be or as the funding grows exponentially, it's going to be much, much harder. Okay, next piece of news is Kickstarter funded Under the Dogs anime promo reveals an August 1 release. So originally it was slated for release in May, but there were some things going on, obviously. While the staff had aimed for a release in May, Kinema Citrus had said that a bit more time is needed to create an episode that all our backers will hope to see in Under the Dog. So you think it's gonna come out in August?
No.
It's very close. That is a very close date, and there being not many signs of it actually coming out.
I mean, this was supposed to come out last year, so no, I don't think so.
Wouldn't be the first time a Kickstarter I know of has been delayed for over a year
If we kickstart
with an
if
anime.
he kickstart Heaven's Fate or
Heaven's Feel.
Heaven's Feel to come out sooner, will it actually get delayed like 5 more years?
No.
So it's gonna.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
because it'll be funded in like one day.
I'll kickstart Index Season 3, and then they'll steal my eyeballs or something.
Yeah, that's what you have to pay for the top tier of the Kickstarter thing. Like
They fucking tear my kidneys out.
you'll get a nice little keychain of awesomeness, and then in exchange you have to sell your organs. All right. Next is this is actually important not because of like the manga or anything like that, but because of the context. Naoshi Arakawa's New Farewell, My Dear Kramer manga gets simultaneous English release. So, uh, your lie in April, manga creator Naoshi Arakawa did a new series, or it launched the Sakura Waka in the June issue of Kodansha's monthly shonen magazine on Friday. Kodansha Comics additionally announced on Friday that the manga is getting a simultaneous digital release in English in Kindle and Comixology. The first chapter is
Kindle.
available now in English on Kindle.
Can I get
So,
it physically?
I don't know. I think it's only digital right now. English, that is. Uh,
I
but I
mean,
mean,
why do you want to carry around a big, thick, heavy manga, man? This is the future.
yeah, I mean everything.
Is it?
Everybody's going into digital stuff. Like we've talked about this in use like over the past year, right? Here, it's not really a surprise.
Paper
Yeah, I
is
mean,
expensive.
I'm just
Yeah,
like
that's also
if
true.
they're releasing it physically in Japan, I don't know. It's kind
Yeah,
of weird
I
that they're
mean,
doing
maybe
only
they don't
digital.
have the correct Japanese paper over here in the U.S.,
I
man.
think the problem is even more than anything else. It's just like I think what they see is that manga overseas are becoming more and more of a novelty good, especially since the rise of aggregation sites like Potato, like Manga Panda, like Manga Reader, whatever stuff like that.
Maybe they should start selling them digitally. I don't know. That'd be crazy.
I mean that's the whole point we're trying to make, right? It's like these physical copies are slowly less and less becoming a common means to get to people, and more of a novelty good. And it doesn't help that bookstores recently, such as like or is it like what stuff like that, Barnes and Nobles have closed or not been doing well or whatever. So it's becoming harder and harder. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I just like to read manga in my bed,
Print is
yeah, I
so
mean
dead.
it's
and I don't
understandable.
have a
Yeah,
Kindle, so the
yeah.
digital only thing's kind of a hamper to me.
Yeah, and hopefully there'll be some way with that they can release it on different platforms or something like that, or people can kind of like rip it off and buy it on Kindle and rip it off to another place. But we'll see. I think this is a good step forward because I think people are really. I think Kodansha, Karakawa, the Shogakukan, a lot of these sort of big publishers are really realizing, hey, our sort of major problem was not necessarily the labor in terms of translating and stuff like that. These people can be paid for peanuts. These people will do it for free, even. Um,
This shit's $2 for one digital chapter.
yeah, I mean the pricing, Japan on their fucking pricing, honestly. But I mean they're too used to like also like the mobile stuff where it's like they expect little things they'll buy it for like a couple of bucks or something like that. But that's just like a market thing they have to print iron out. But I think they're really realizing, hey, okay, so a lot of our bottleneck was actually behind, setting up, contracting with, book publisher and studios and getting it printed out and doing stuff and keeping up and stuff like that. And with our digital distribution model, a lot of these problems are gone. So I think this is a good step forward. I think this is a really good step forward. Now, these guys have to start working with the talent, again, that exists already in the fan community, in the anime community, and not sort of, be very lazy and be like, oh well, Crunchyroll or somebody will do it well enough. Like I think it'll work much better if they do sort of reach out to the community at large. But yeah,
Also, with the pricing model, like Near just said, they also need to be smart about it. And even though if they sell chapters separately, they need to make those them being I'd say like $1 or two like a
yeah.
chapter
Again,
is
that's
fine.
it's like this
But
mindset.
then
That's like
they need to
$20 a volume.
they need to have the volume be like $15 instead or something. Then
Yeah,
they need to have like a
it's also
discounted volume and deals like that, so that people actually have an
I
incentive.
remember back in the day when I bought my Love Hina from Barnes and Noble, they were $9.99 a piece.
it's also a matter of trying to trick the market in a sense. You know what I mean? Because that's sort of what they're trying to do. Because it's like people are starting to sort of more or less forget how these things sold. I mean, you can go to Barnes and Nobles, but not a lot of people are like, wow, clearly the standard price of manga should be blah 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 this volume, right?
$9.99, man. It says it
Yeah.
right there on the on the back page if you pay attention.
Yeah.
But
But
they
it's
don't do
like
that no more.
I think as people slowly start moving towards digital editions a lot more, uh, I think these publishers will be relying on people to quote unquote forget the prices of original manga and use that as a way to up the prices. In it, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
that sort of competition is quote unquote fading away.
they need to make it. They need to make it easy enough to buy, and cheap enough to fool people. Because I mean,
Uh,
when you look at
it can't be like $5 a chapter or some stupid
yeah,
price.
when you look at why things like, I mean, it's nowhere near anime, but hey, it's got anime movies on it, so fuck it. When you look at like something like Steam and why, like, as a retailer, like as like a digital marketplace, it's so convenient, it's so successful, is because of how convenient it is. Like, any game that comes out on Steam, I could take the risk and just pirate it if I really, really wanted
Yeah,
to.
but you have
But
to
I'm just
do a
like, no,
workaround
I
and it
may
can be
as
bugged.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may as like if I buy the game, I'll literally have an easier experience, and I'm also not a piece of shit, so I bought the game. Um, but like they need to balance that, and they need to make it not $300 per volume.
I think you gave me the idea. I think whoever in the next couple of years, and who knows, it might be something like it might be a sister company of Faku or Crunchyroll or something like that. Whoever manages to create a paid sort of aggregation site or paid subscription slash aggregation site for manga that manages to get the Kodansha, Shugakukan, Karakawa, and there was one other fucking place, but these four or five like major publisher people on board for kind of using them at using the site using a site as a platform to show off their manga and be like, okay, we can subscribe to this chapter blah 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 a month or something like that for however many bucks and unifies it under a single platform. That person is going to be rich. I guarantee you that person is going to be rich.
Yeah, I'd pay for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so would I. Well,
And
assuming
then
it's not $20 a month, but
yeah, I mean, they would like the person would have to end up charging like some sort of probably like 5 to 15%, fee or something like that,
oh,
or
if
subscription.
Crunchyroll manages to do it, then they already have a manga thing where it's like $4 more a month or something. Like if you pay like
Yeah,
the $10 fee
and
a
then you could
month,
do
then
free.
you
Yeah,
get
Isn't their
the manga
selection like
too.
shit though?
I
Well,
think
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right now, their selection's pretty damn limited.
I think
Not
it should be I think it should be less subscription based because I think people are kind of like. I mean, the subscription model is already there, and I think it should be more like a manga by manga basis. But obviously, that the prices would have to be much more different. But yeah, again, somebody needs to fucking get on that, I think. Anyways, next piece of news. Nisio Isin Zareko novels have been launched into an anime project. So,
Who?
is this with Shaft? Is my
More than
question.
likely.
Because,
Isio Isin very much likes working with Shaft, so he
yeah,
said
the
so.
the reason why I asked this is the reason why I put this in the news in the first place. Well, I'll describe it, but so the story of Zaragoza is the occasion of a lifetime, a trip to a remote island filled with geniuses and murder. On Wet Crow's Feather Island, a tiny speck in the Sea of Japan, lives Akagami Iria, the exiled daughter of a powerful family. Born into great wealth, she was a princess in the highest pedigree until she was cut off by the leader of the Akagami Foundation. For the last 5 years, she's lived on Feather Island with her maids, but she hasn't been alone. She's invited the best minds Japan has to offer to come and stay with her. So it's probably gonna be a survival game plus like wits, blah blah blah, shit like that, with a lot of fucking with a lot of monologues and conversations and stuff.
Yeah.
But what I'm curious about is if this is definitely going to be with the Shaft Akiyuki Shimbo, if the Holy Trident is getting back together,
I hope so.
because as we've discussed on this podcast many times, um, Shaft is fucking running out of
Running out of
cash
things to
cows.
milk,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Monogatari's over. Like,
Monogatari is like gonna die after Kyushu.
Dude, just
Like
milk
after all the
Makaku
Kyushu
City
out.
actors, man.
Kaku City actors.
Just milk Makaku City actors, dude.
But yeah, so that's not off. Saranar's Zetsubo Sensei is fucking dead as shit. Hidamari sketch is like dying, like pretty much dead, like after that last season, right? Slash like OVA specials. What else is there? Madoka is like very dependent upon naked Homura, like in movie posters or nearly naked Homura movie posters. I think. I mean, they got to get something, and this might very well be it. If this isn't it, Shaft has to answer for stuff. You know, Shaft has to simply answer for stuff. They can't get away with this stuff. They can't get away with cash cows anymore. Yeah, hopefully.
Fuck Denpo Onna season 2 though, huh?
Oh man,
No way, sir.
excuse me. I think you're being I think you're being too courageous there.
implying Denpa made any money.
Yeah, implying Tempo that made any money. It's too bad for that kind of. The anime was never good. Okay, let's be real here.
Yeah, numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
Shit series.
Hey, dude, I was gonna post this in the news section, but I didn't. But what was it? Like, Girls in Panzer made like 19.3 billion yen or something like that in the past like 1 or 2 years that it came out, like movie or
Fucking
Girls in Panzer
saved anime.
movie. Hey, numbers don't lie. Girls in Panzer saves anime.
Literally the best series.
It's
of
better
all
than
time.
One Punch Man. How many billions of yen did a One Punch Man movie make? That's what I thought.
Get
but yeah.
fucked, kiddo.
Get fucked. And the last piece of non-person related news is that Naruto is getting a new Konoha Shinden novel, and this is Naruto side spin-off Kakashi's story. And the only reason I pointed this out was because I wanted to rant at Naruto one more time. Please end the series. Please. I want to cry, actually. I'm not
But
even
they
angry.
did end it, dude. They got an ending.
It's
Oh my
true.
God.
Now it's all about burritos.
Spoiler alert, in chapter 1 of Boruto,
Boruto Matudo.
he gets a cool eye scar like Kakashi, and
Fucking A.
he's all like, "Whenever I'm serious, I open my scarred eye," and I think it's the Byakugan. So
Maybe
he
he should
has the
just.
Byakugan.
Man, it would have been nicer if instead he was just a cheating piece of shit the entire time.
I mean, that's kind of what he is, though. He cheats on the Chunin exam. He cheats at video games. So
I mean,
He's
he
a
has the
dick.
Kyuubi, the cheating Kyuubi.
Yeah, but that should be the only thing he has is that he's a cheating piece of shit. Shouldn't have anything else.
No
Alright.
powers.
But
Nothing.
guys, how would he win if he had no powers? Are you
Fucking
telling me?
cheats.
But guys, he's the
He has-
son of the Hokage, and of course and the successor of the Hyuga clan. Of course, he's gonna have powers.
No. Anyways, fucking Naruto, man. The last piece.
At least Naruto's gonna be better than Bolt.
They probably won't. To
Probably
be
will.
honest.
honestly, I just want that shit to end. Just end it. End it. End it. End it. End it.
I think
end
we need more moon sages before we end.
I think
though.
we need more Bleach.
I think we need more.
We need a Bleach season 2 with
I need
Ichigo's daughter.
Bleach.
Big
in
old
my
glass of
Why?
bleach.
You
I
have
need
to
a
say-
bleach in my mouth.
I
right
could
now.
use some
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
bleach.
All right, the last piece of news is person-related news, and I personally take this one pretty too hard because of the series he wrote and like what he did. But the writer and light novel author Tomohiro Matsu, he did a couple of light novels, but he's best known for his Mayuri Neko Overrun and Listen to Me Girls, I Am Your Father, or Papa no Iu Koto o Kiki Nasai, also translated as Papa Kiki or shortened as Papa Kiki, light novel series. And he has unfortunately passed away due to an unspecified sickness at the age of 43. He also did a couple other series. He also apparently worked on the series composition and scripts for Queen's Blade, as well as Ixion Saga DT. The official Twitter account of the Comic Market or Comic Head event also mourned Matsu's death, and share details on the author's work as part of the event's comic market preparatory committee staff. So he actually worked with like Comic Con for like stuff, which is actually pretty cool. He like even as like a professional person, he like I guess this is still part of the revolving door in a sense because as we know, a lot of people doing dojos and stuff at Comic Con also turn around to do official artwork and stuff. But I think it's still pretty cool that he really was in it deep. You know what I mean? Like one
Yeah.
of us kind of thing. But it's like, yeah, unfortunately, please wish the best for his friends and family, um, and condolences. Okay,
I
all
like
right,
the series.
yeah. Okay, so with that, the news is done, and now we do shoutouts, callouts. As you guys might know, the shoutouts and callouts, we do one shout out, one call out. That is, one shout out is relegated to one thing you want to praise, talk it about, rate it, 11 out of 10, call it One Punch Man, whatever. And it may be one thing, one series, one concept, one nation, one person, a group of people, maybe two people, a cat, a dog, whatever. A call out is the exact opposite. You want to rant or flame or, talk down on something. And it can be, again, one thing, one concept, one trend, one nation, one group, one thing, a beta fish, your parents, neighbors, anything. So you have one shout out and one call out. And we will start with Dark Soul.
Okay. I actually am prepared for this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna shout out to the fact that Kobayashi-san, Chino Maid Dragon, is getting a anime adaptation.
Who's the studio?
I don't know. I forgot to read into that, but hey,
Wow, jerk.
it's getting one. It's getting one.
You didn't even know about that until I showed it to you. What a jerk.
Wow, yeah. Well, you didn't even know what the fucking studio that's making it is, so whatever. Asshole. Whoa, like what do you want? Whatever.
All
I
right.
guess
And then,
call out now. You know what? Fucking, I'm just gonna recall out the news article about fucking certain magical index producer says third anime season is plausible. Like fucking no shit, it's plausible. Fuck you. God, hey guys, it's possible. It's possible. Don't get your hopes up, but this. You know what? I never thought of it before, Spire, but there's potential for a season 3. There's content here. I never
Cowboy
knew.
Bebop season 2 is plausible.
Shouldn't be though.
but yeah, we hope he's in negotiations right now. I mean, even if it's like unofficial, he's still like the. Although again, we seriously have to know whether he's doing it because he's in negotiations or whether he's doing it because he's tired of people being like, "Fucking give us the next season 3, or fucking like egg your house or some shit." Like,
Hey man, there's an easy answer to
Well, egg at your
people
house.
complaining
Wow.
about no index season 3. It's give them index season 3. It's pretty simple. Just make the anime. Easy.
oh my god.
Just want fucking Rug season 3. God damn it! I need to get past index season 3 to get it. I know there's that fucking hurdle.
Like,
Give me
oh,
whole
friends. God damn
It's
it.
at least like 2. I have to wait like at least 2 years at this point for fucking after Index season 3 is done to get Railgun season 3.
Kent is like, also no one wants Index season 3. Well,
I don't even really want Index
no,
season 3.
okay. People say they want Index season 3, but when they like sit down and think about it for more than like a minute, they actually don't really want Index season 3.
Here's the thing. I want Index season 3 just to stare into the eye of madness. But then at the same time, I just want to get it all out of the way until New Testament so that we could do New Testament and then people realize.
I can't wait
People
for
realize how fucking
Optimus.
stupid. God, that's
Oh my God.
dumb. That's a dumb mage girl, right?
Oh
Fucking
Jesus.
stupid eye patch or whatever.
Yeah.
That everyone's like, man, she's so great. It's
She's like the
fuck,
god or whatever. That's like
nothing's fucking great about New Testament.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
All right. Nier. Shout out to call out.
My shout out goes to Overwatch. It's pretty fun.
Nice.
My call out goes to Overwatch. Needs balance changes.
Needs bounces. Oh my god. All right.
It's Blizzard, so it won't.
Yeah.
Toast.
Huh?
Toast.
Alright.
Shout outs call, please.
What are the shoutouts? Nah, you already did.
Yeah, I already did. Yep.
My shout out
Gotcha.
is to Kantai Collection. Those new vent girls, they're all pretty high tier.
Okay.
Kamikaze and Harukaze are pretty cool looking. And so is Oyashio, even though her name's really hard to pronounce.
All right. My shout outs call.
And my call
Oh, wait,
out is
I thought you were
to
gonna just okay.
my call out is to Dark Soul 96969
Yeah, that's my name.
69, 69, 69,
for being a dick. He was all, hey, if I give you Soma Prime, I'll play Warframe with you, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
And
then
here
you're
I am
like,
playing
hey,
Warframe, and then you're
hey,
like, no, I don't want
Dark,
to.
Hey, Dark, you want to do this fucking thing you actually need to pay attention to while we do the podcast? And I'm like, no, not really, Toast. That seems like a bad idea.
It's not even. What? Pay attention to what? Like I
you
said,
were like, let's do a Roken Derelict, and I'm like, that's terrible.
a
Let's do
Roken
one
Derelict defense is super easy. You and I stand on the pillars. I spam molecular prime, and we kill stuff. It takes it's brain dead.
Yeah,
and
but,
I was all like,
I'll have
hey,
to fucking be to do that, you would want me to be Frost Prime or some shit, and that means I need
Frost
to
Prime
watch.
would get in the way of the thing. All I do is spam molecular prime, then you spam your AOE thing, and it's like whatever.
No, you need a Frost Prime for defense. You
No, you
always need a
don't.
Frost
I
Prime.
did it. I got up to
we
wave
need to-
40 with just using Nova.
Please shut the fuck
we
up.
need to calm
I hate
down
this
here.
so much.
And then this
Toast.
guy was all like, I was all like, hey, you want to find Trinity Prime parts? And he's like, no way, man. I'm
Please
gonna
shut up.
wait for Vauban Prime. And I'm like, what the hell is your
because you
problem?
keep saying, Dark, do you want to? You're basically asking me, Dark, do you want to fucking waste all your keys that you fucking
I mean,
have
I'm the
saved
one
up?
who has the keys,
Alright,
and
you guys-
you don't want
This
to.
is an anime.
We need to.
Yeah, but it's
we need to save
ninjas,
this
though. That's
conversation
like
You
Yeah,
said we
man.
could call out anything, and I'm calling him out on Warframe. For
No,
being
no,
a
no,
dick.
I get the call out. I get the call out. Okay, we get it. All right,
See, Dom, I'll
we'll
play
see
with
the
you.
details for
You can
after the
farm
podcast.
Trinity Prime with me.
We'll save the details for after the podcast. All right. My shout out is actually to the guy that made the series of Shin Kohime Muso Moishoden, or the fan disc Kohime Muso, the translations for that video translations for that visual novel, because I knew he had done like it beforehand, but it's like I really, I really like the series and I want to go through it, and they were pretty good at translation, and it was really fun going through. I think some of the HCGs were like cut out or something like that, which is unfortunate, but oh well. But yeah, so that's my shout out. My call out. I'm not sure whether to do the call out to the Overwatch thing. I don't want to do it. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the call out there. But my call out is actually to fucking God. There are a couple of things I want to call out today, or this for like the past 2 weeks, but I think some of them will be like
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
like. All right, I'm not gonna do the one that is like more aggressive, but I'm gonna call out the people who are just like the most like dumbest fucking like we went through like the Crunchyroll comments, right? And we just like, what's going on? Like, how do these people
Who's
actually
we?
read?
You
Dude,
did that.
Yeah,
that should have
You
been.
did that and subjected us all to it.
To be honest with
Yeah.
you, I don't know why you didn't make that in the news. That Mayoiga is comedy of the season. Okay?
Oh shit, no. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it all of Crunchyroll. I'm gonna call all of Crunchyroll for being probably the greatest hotspot of like dumbness in the entire fucking world. Like,
You
if
ever want to see a fucking shit post be real? Go to Crunchyroll.
God, fucking kills me, honestly.
Legitimate featured article calling Mayoiga comedy of the season.
But Dark, what if you found out you were the dream of a potato?
What if I found out that I was fucking
Is it from Generations?
Poster.
Does equality
To
exist
give
in a
context to
democracy
that,
country?
there's some dude on the Crunchyroll forums that for some reason
See, Sage
makes
Naruto
these.
68.
Holy shit! You're just gonna fucking call him out like that? All right, well,
Hey
fuck
man,
it.
what if he's watching right now?
What if he's
Well, then hey man, thanks for
Session is
watching, but why? You need to message us and say and just answer to the question that we have for you, which is why.
What if
If Sage Naruto 68 is watching right now,
we
I
apologize?
need to know what you meant by "is it from Generations?" I will go to my fucking deathbed wondering what the hell that means. I need to know.
Hey, apparently
Dude,
someone
I'm
at
actually posting the
someone at Crunchyroll must, because they fucking featured him as a user in the forums. Okay,
Oh
so
my
someone out there knows.
I need to know
They won't
this.
tell us.
Oh my god. Crunchyroll has all the classics, guys. It's not the classic for anime, but it's definitely the classic for something. Um, but yeah, it was an interesting ride, but never one that I hope to repeat ever again. Or maybe I do. I don't know.
I was gonna say you say that, but fucking like next weekend it's
Yeah, we're
gonna be
just
the
gonna
same
look at it.
shit again.
Yeah. Oh Jesus. But yeah, that's my call out. But yeah, with that, we are done for this week. Again, thank you for joining us. We do this every other week, Saturdays, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, on our Twitch channel, we're having some slight problems with recording, but thankfully on our Twitch channel and on our site, you can view the VODs. We'll try to highlight each episode specifically, and we have specific links on our website at 4PlayerAnimecast.moe. That's with a number 4. That specifically links to our Twitch highlights and VODs, so you can catch the latest episodes on there. We are trying to export all our stuff onto YouTube and as well as an MP3 format, so watch as soon as possible. So watch out for that. Um, again, if you like what we do, please follow us on our Twitch channel as well as our social media on Facebook and Twitter at 4PlayerAnimecast with a number 4. And with that, we'll see you next time.